Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see from this video, we have another story time. So if you are new to the channel, go ahead and click that thumbs up button because you're gonna like the video. You gonna like the video, okay? Like, let me tell you something. You're gonna like the video, okay? If you don't like the video, you're a hater. You're a hater if you don't like the video. No, let me play. Let me stop playing. But if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, go ahead and click the thumbs up video because you already know how I'm coming with my story times. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Are you gonna let another year go by with you not being subscribed to my channel? Subscribe to the channel, sis. Subscribe! Subscribe! All right, let me stop playing. But yes, y'all, let's get straight into the video. Don't know what I'm gonna title this story time, but y'all, this is a story time that, like, till this day, it still mind boggles me that, like, all this shit happened and stuff like that. Oh my God, it mind boggles me, bro. This story time took place when I was in 7th grade, and we're gonna get into it. This is another one of my bullying story times, but this is a completely different type of bullying story time. Majority of my bullying story times that I've told in my past have came from high school. This is from my middle school, and I got bullied from like a completely different reason. So we're gonna get into it, y'all, because this is a crazy story time. So boom, 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 boom. The story time took place when I was in 7th grade. I went to this middle school. This is before I moved districts. So this is when I was still in my old county, my old district or whatnot. This county and district was predominantly black people and Mexican people. And like when I say black, I mean mainly African American. Now there were some African people, but it was mainly African American people in this area and Hispanic people, right? And mainly Mexicans, like mainly Mexicans, but just Hispanics period. Because I remember like we used to have like Puerto Ricans. I used to be seeing like, you know, like just Hispanics period, right? See, I didn't know that, you know, a lot of I didn't know back then that a lot of black people in that area did not like Hispanics until I got to the middle school. Because when we were in intermediate, when we were in elementary, nobody was fighting or tussling. But it's like as soon as we got to 7th grade, I just began to see like, damn, like black people do not like Hispanic people and Hispanic people do not like black people. Like, for real. It was just crazy, right? I used to go to PE, and it used to be these group of Hispanic boys. Now, the Hispanic boys, they were in 8th grade. I was in 7th grade. We're gonna name one of them. It was like a group of like 5 of them, but we're gonna give one of them a name. We're gonna call him Brian, right? So it was this Hispanic boy named Brian. He never really said much to me. Like, I didn't say much to him, but like, you know, I could always kind of tell that like I could tell that he didn't care for me. I could tell he didn't care for anybody that was my skin color. Let me tell you why. So, you know, in PE, there were a group of Hispanic girls. There were, you know, a group of black girls. But in my PE class, it wasn't that many black girls compared to Hispanic girls. It was way more Hispanic girls compared to black girls. So, like, I would see them talking to the Hispanic girls, and they would be nice to them and stuff. But, like, when they would come around us, they would always give us looks. They would, like, you know, you could tell, like, you could feel the energy. You could tell that the energy was off. You could tell that they felt some type of way about our presence, you know, because the way they would look at us would be like crazy, but like they never said nothing, and if it ain't directed, it's not respected. So I didn't care, you know. One time, this is when I knew, this is when I knew, like, okay, this is gonna be a long school year. There was this one Hispanic girl in my PE class. Like, she was very nice. Like, she was very nice. She used to talk to everybody. She talked to me. She used to talk to the other girls. Like, she talked to everybody, and she was kind of considered like a popular chick. Like, she was one of them Hispanic girls that was like, you know, what we call today, you know how people call Latinas copy and paste Latinas, saying all Latinas look the same. And honestly, I don't think that all Latinas look the same, but I do get why people say a lot of Latinas are copy and paste. They kind of resemble each other. But like, let's be for real. Like, a lot of the times when people call Latinas copy and paste, them girls be cute. So like, she was one of them copy and paste Latinas, like what we would call a copy and paste Latina. Like, she was a very pretty girl, like long ass hair, always used to smell good. Like, I mean, this bitch had it going on, and she was only in 8th grade. Mind you, all the Hispanic girls were in a grade above me. it was only me and like a couple of my other black friends. We were in 7th grade. The Hispanic girls and that were in the PE class, they were in 8th grade, right? So she always had it going on. Like, she was cute. And we used to wear uniforms. So, you know, you really can't style your clothes. But baby always had different Jordans on her feet all the time. Like, she was nice, right? One day after PE, I was smelling funky. I wanted some perfume and some lotion to, like, you know, freshen up. And then on top of that, like, the girls' locker room had a shower. So what I was planning on doing was just going in there, because to keep soap, and I used to keep like a washcloth in my locker, because I used to run track at that time, and I think I did basketball. So yeah, I just had stuff in my locker, like, you know, for practices and shit like that. I went to the shower thing, I took the soap, and even if I didn't have soap, the PE coaches used to supply us with soap if we asked. So I went in there, you know, scrubbed the soap, but now I need deodorant, you know. So I asked my black friends, they were like, nah, we don't got none. And before somebody comments saying, oh my God, you are so nasty for asking for deodorant, I'm talking about I asked them that they have perfume, because I know how y'all like to get in them comments. They were like, no, no, no. So I thought in my head, I should just go ahead and ask the Hispanic girl, because the Hispanic girl, like, she always smells good. Like, this girl always smells good, and I will always see her, like, spraying, like, different perfumes. Like, whenever she will open her locker, it would just be a whole bunch of different perfumes and just, yeah. So I went up to the Hispanic girl, and I asked her, and I was like, hey, girl, like, can I use a perfume or something? And she was like, yes, girl, yes. She goes in the locker, she opens up her locker combination, and she's like, pick whatever you want to pick. Like, you can, I don't care, like, whatever you want, you can pick. So I'm like, I thought I was filming for T.I.'s music video. You can have whatever you like. Yeah, stacks on, Patron on. We can pop bottles. Boom, boom, boom. Like, baby, I was happy. You feel me? So I'm in a locker. I'm looking through, looking for the best flavor. Not scent, y'all. Flavor. I'm looking through. I'm skimming through. And so I end up picking out a good. And this girl, like, she was the type of girl where, like, she, for every lotion, she had a perfume. Like, let's say if she had a champagne toast lotion, she had a champagne toast perfume. Like, that's the type of girl she was. So I was picking out, I picked out like, let's say it was a champagne toast, because that's my favorite scent from Bath and Body Works. So I picked out the champagne toast lotion, the champagne toast perfume, and of course I can't use her deodorant because she had a stick deodorant. So what I did was I ended up putting lotion, like, you know, on my arms, like on my foot. I know some people about to be like, ew, y'all, I was in 7th grade, okay? Like, don't judge me, okay? Do not judge me. But yeah, I was over there. I put some lotion on my, you know, my arms, my, you know, and then I spray perfume everywhere. So I was like, I'll be good. Like, as long as I already washed my arms in the shower, my armpits, it's not going to smell, because it's not like I'm putting scent on top of must. And I gave her back the stuff, and I was like, thank you so much, girl, because I didn't have nothing. And yeah, and then on top of that, my people was just not the type of people that was going to be taking you to Bath and Body Works and shit like that. Like, bitch, we went to Walgreens, and they used to give me Vaseline, cocoa butter, bitch. That was my Bath and Body Works, okay? And I was not about to be bringing Vaseline up to the school or whatnot. And yeah, but ever since then, I was like, okay, girl, start bringing your deodorant to school. Like, start bringing your deodorant to school, you know what I mean? So as I'm walking, one of her friends in the locker room gives me a dirty look, but I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, girl, whatever. Like, I don't know why she was looking at me like that, but I didn't really think anything of it. And then she said something in Spanish, and my friend that I was with at the time, this girl, I used to be friends with her. I still see her on my social media to this day. It's crazy. Me and her did almost fight. Yeah, but yeah, let me write that down, because I be having bad memory, y'all, and I be forgetting about certain story times. So my friend at the time, she spoke Spanish. Mind you, I didn't know that this girl spoke Spanish at all. Like, I didn't know. Girl said something to the girl in Spanish, and my friend was like, I don't know what my friend said, but I think my friend was like, say it again. Like, she started screaming. Mind you, bitch, I got scared. I thought she was talking to me. Like, she was like, say it again. Say it again. Say it again. And I was like, I said, bitch, I thought she was talking to me. I'm like, damn, what did I say? And so the Hispanic girl was looking at her like, and my friend just started speaking Spanish to her. Like, she was on some like she was doing her big one. Her big one. Mind you, it was like 3-4 Hispanic girls there, and they all was looking like, And she was like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, what happened? Because I'm like, okay, what happened? I'm like, damn, I didn't know you spoke Spanish. What they say? What they say? Tell me why she said that the Hispanic girl told the girl who gave me the perfume, why are you giving that N-word anything of yours in Spanish? And they didn't know that my friend spoke Spanish because my friend is African. She's black. But I forgot where she was from. I don't remember where she was from. But she's from one of them countries in Africa where they speak French and Spanish. Like, that's their two languages. So, you know, that's why I said you have to be careful. Like, you know, not everybody, just because somebody looks like this or, you know what I mean? You just have to be careful what you say sometimes because you might be thinking that you're getting away with it. Meanwhile, you're not. You know what I mean? And she was shocked. Like, she was shocked. All of them girls were shocked. The girl who gave me the perfume was shocked. Everybody just staring at each other. And then she told me out loud, she was like, she said da da da, like she told me. And so I went from like you know, I'm low-key was on some like, girl, chill out, to oh really, like that's how you feel type shit. So I looked at her and I was like, what's the issue with her giving me perfume? She started talking about some, I'm not talking to you, I was talking to her. I said, okay, yeah, you was talking to her, but you was talking to her about me. So what's the issue with her giving me perfume? So we get into an argument and my friend is like, man, my friend's like, man, Irene, F her, like let's go, because this was the ending of the class period. Like, we're getting ready to transition to the next class period. And from that moment on, I had an issue with that girl and the other girls. Not the one who gave me the perfume, but the other girl. So the issue wasn't that big, but they would try to punk me. Like, I could just see them trying to punk me. I remember one time we had went to lunch, and mind you, I was not in the I didn't have class period with them when I went to lunch, but I remember I was in a line and I asked one of the lunch ladies like a question or something, and like one of the same girl who talked shit about me in Spanish was like, duh, like awesome, like duh, like what type of dumb question is that? And I was like, who's talking to you? Like, I used to get so mad at her and she'd be like, I'm not talking to you. Like, she stayed trying to like punk. And then I remember her telling me like, little girl, like they would try to little girl me, and I'm just looking at them like, you're only a, first of all, I was just about to say, because you know, remember I told you guys they were in 8th grade, I was in 7th grade. I was about to say, first of all, you're only a year older than me, but first of all, you're really not, because my birthday was because I was born in September, I was the same age as everybody in a grade above me. I was actually I always used to be the oldest kid in my class. So in 7th grade, when everybody was, let's say everyone was 12, bitch, I was 13. So therefore, the people in 8th grade was 13. So baby, we're the same age. So I don't know why you trying to little girl me. Just because I'm in a grade below you do not mean that we're not the same age. And she'll always be like, little girl, little girl, little girl. And so I would tell her, I was like, well, do you want to fight? Because I just was like, what? Like, do you want to fight? Like, you have an issue with me? Like, do you want to fight? She was like, girl, nobody want to touch you. Like, you're ghetto, da-da-da. Like, she was that type of girl, right? Like I told you guys before, the guy, now we're going to introduce Brian and his friends. Now, the guy named Brian, he was cool with those group of girls. Like, he was cool with them. They used to talk, play at recess. Like, he was cool with them. I think that they went and told Brian about me. I do think that they went and told Brian that they had an issue with me or that they didn't like me. They told Brian something because that boy started talking to me a lot at PE. And the thing is, it wasn't like he was talking to me in a nice manner, in like a cool manner. Like, no, like Brian started talking to me like in a rude manner. I remember one time we were doing the pacer test, and baby, I used to hate doing the pacer test. I used to just hate doing the pacer test because, you know, in the beginning when they go 1 and I run to the other side and I run back and I make it, I'm like, all right. Then they go 2, then you do it again. I run. Bitch, by the time they get to 4, bitch, I'm running slow. So I'm running and shit. Bitch, tell me why Brian and them start laughing at me. So bitch, I'm looking like, what's funny about that? Like, what's funny about the fact that I can't run fast? Like, what do we use running for? Like, I mean, unless we need to run away from a bear or something, but like, what do we really use running for? You know what I mean? So they're laughing, like you can see them, they're doing their big one over there. They're to the point where the PE coach was like, hey, chill, leave her alone. And I'm just looking like, they're laughing at me. I get out of the pacer test, you know, I get out, baby, I don't make it past 10. I never even used to do those pacer tests. Even the burpees, I never, I don't know about y'all, but we used to do the burpees test. Bitch, I used to only do 0. So I used to hate when schools would have those events. Like, what are we training for? Like, really think about it, y'all. What was the point of the pacer test, the burpees test, the sit-ups? Like, what was the point of those type of tests? Like, what? Like, why are we training for that? Like, we're not going to the Olympics and we're not going to the military. But anyways, to each his own. But yeah, so yeah, they're laughing. They're in a corner. They're laughing. They're having the time of their life. They think it's funny that my big ass can't run, right? The next day comes, or like, I don't know, y'all. This story happened in 7th grade, so don't quote me. But a couple of days go on. I know it was a close coincidence, because some days we will go to the tracks. Like, some days they will be like, all right, y'all, today is track day. And basically you go to the tracks and you basically just walk around the track until the class period is over with, or you could run. It's up to you. Basically what they would tell us is they will say run. I think they would say run 1 lap or 2 laps, and then for the rest y'all could walk around. But we did have to run a little bit before we could walk. And so we get outside and I hear Brian, and he's like, Irene not gonna run nothing. And I'm just looking at him like, why are you talking to me? Like, no. Because mind you, we're outside. We're sitting down in line. Mind you, I'm sitting here. He's sitting like in front of me. Like, he's sitting over there in front of me, over there in the corner. And he makes a comment saying, he made a comment to his friend saying she ain't gonna run nothing, like this is to that. So I'm looking at him like, why are you talking to me? Like, why are you talking to me? And y'all, teacher, he looking at me. He don't know that Brian is the one who started with me. He looking at me thinking I'm the problem because I get all irate and shit. And I'm like, why are you talking to me? And he's like, hey, girl, be quiet. Da, da. And I'm like, no, tell him to stop talking to me. Tell him to stop talking to me. So Brian was like, ain't nobody talking to you. Like, you know how with the accent, I'm talking about the full-blown accent, y'all. Like, y'all know them Hispanic accents, them boys that really be, they accents be deep type shit. So he was like, ain't nobody talking to you. Like, nobody's talking to you with your fat ass. Mind you, y'all, Brian wasn't skinny. He wasn't big, but he wasn't skinny. So I don't know why he kept calling me fat. Like, you're fat yourself, sir. But yeah, he'll be like, ain't nobody talking to you with your fat ass. So me and him started going back and forth, right? The teacher, he was like, if y'all don't stop, I'm gonna send both of y'all back inside and write y'all up. So we just both went quiet. And at that point, mind you, my friend, she's still with me, the girl who spoke Spanish. And she's just like comforting me, like, you know. So Brian calls me, in the midst of me and Brian arguing, he calls me the N-word. And so, mind you, when he calls me the N-word, he doesn't say it loud, but I can hear his mouth say the N-word. So I start screaming and I'm like, what? Say it again. Say it again. And I knew, y'all. Like, y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all. They just did not like me because I was black from the beginning of times. From even the Hispanic girl who said, why'd you give that N-word anything? From him, they called me the N-word. They did not like me. And it was just so confusing. Let me pause this story and then I'm gonna tell you guys about the school in general. So, like I told you guys before, the Hispanics and the black people, they did not like each other. So basically the Hispanic boys were in gangs and the black boys were in gangs too. Don't really remember the names of these gangs, but they were in big gangs. And it was Hispanics versus blacks, you know. And I remember one time, this one boy on TikTok from LA, he was talking about like the gang wars with like Hispanics versus black growing up in LA. He was talking about how bad the gang wars were and like how like it was just crazy, like, you know, Hispanics really hated black people. And I remember, and he said like he said that coming to Houston kind of really made him see that like LA was just on a different type of time or whatnot, from what he hears, because he doesn't really see Hispanics hating black people or like that. And I was just looking at him like, and mind you, he said it's not like that in LA as much anymore, like they chilling now. But he said back then when he was younger, the Hispanics and the black people, they used to get it cracking like them gangs. And he's like my age, and I remember commenting on his thing like, oh, it was very, that the same type of hatred that they had in LA was very prominent in Houston back then. I think we just learned how to simmer down and, you know, just leave each other alone. He trying to argue with me. I'm looking at him like, boy, you grew up in LA. I grew up in Houston. Let a Houstonian tell you how it was to grow up in certain parts of Houston. And the thing is, he talking about something, I don't think so. And somebody came on the comments and was like, nah, she not lying. I'm from Houston and black people and Hispanics used to hate each other. He talking about something, nah, I don't think so. Like, I don't like when people do that, but that's neither here nor there. But y'all, the hatred was real. There used to be fights. There used to be riots in the middle of the hallways. Like, y'all, I remember one time we were walking through hallway transition and I got to the back of the school. It was literally a group of of black boys on one side, a group of Hispanic boys on another side, and they just started throwing them hoes. Like they was pop, 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 like they was throwing them hoes. So I was like, bitch, I was clutching my pearls. Bitch, I didn't want to get included in it. Bitch, I stepped back. So they was pop, 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 pop. Like just, they was getting active, you know what I mean? And it was crazy. The teachers were screaming, stop, stop. Like it was getting crazy, right? Several times this happened, y'all, like several times. And when the monitors would come, everybody would disperse, so they would not be able to figure out like who started the fight. I think it would just be like a couple of people that would get in trouble, but it was a big group, you know. I remember it got to the point where they held a school meeting and they basically told us like, whoever is doing these gang wars, whoever's the leader of these gang wars, we're gonna find you. We're gonna get you kicked out of this school because this is out of line. Then it got to the point where they started drawing graffiti on the back of, like, y'all, when I tell you this was serious, like this wasn't even no funny stuff. This was like serious gang wars. Only in 7th grade, they started drawing graffiti outside the school. Like they started drawing, like the Hispanics started drawing their, I forgot the name of them gangs, but the Hispanics started drawing their gang. The black people, they came like over it, like with the graffiti. They whatever, they graffitied it out. Then they went and drove they shit. It was so much graffiti on the side of the school all the time. It would be a man outside. He would literally be painting the school every other day. This guy, bitch. Do y'all remember what's that movie? I don't know if y'all remember. Was it that movie with Denzel Washington? Was it Denzel Washington when he went to go help a school in need, and they were graffitiing up the wall? But one time I walked on the side of the school, they were saying like all N-words must die. Like it was bad, y'all. It was bad. So back to the story. I do think that they started adding the girls in the mix, the Hispanic boys, and I'm just looking like, I'm not in a gang, you know. Like it was awesome. Like if you were black, they were gonna be prejudiced against you. They were gonna be, you know. Now I'm not sitting here saying that the Hispanic boys attacked us like how they attacked the black boys that were in the gang, but they were bullying me, and so they just started bullying the hell out of me. I remember one time at PE, we were sitting down in a single file line. Like we were sitting on the floor in a single file line. Brian and his friends started throwing shit at me. Like when I tell you they were throwing stuff, I don't even know what, like erasers, like they were just throwing shit at me when the teacher wasn't looking. And like, y'all, I've always been the same since I was a little girl. Like how I tell you in my other story times how I used to be like on 10, like do it again, da, da, da. Like I was like that when I was young. So they'll be throwing stuff at me and I'll be like, stop throwing stuff at me. Like I'll be screaming and they'll be giggling and shit because the teacher will always be looking at me like I was the issue. They sitting up there quiet and shit. So the teacher would be like, hey, you need to calm down. Hey, little girl, you need to calm down. And I'll be like, they're throwing shit at me. They're throwing shit at me. And Brian would be like, ain't nobody throwing nothing at you. Like nobody, like he would say in his Hispanic accent. Like he'll be like, yeah, nobody, I ain't gonna do it. But y'all know what I mean. He would be like, ain't nobody throwing nothing at you. Like ain't nobody throwing nothing at you. Ain't nobody throwing nothing at you. It was to the point where I just kind of felt like, I'm not gonna say I felt defeated. Like this bullying was bad, but this bullying did not make me feel like how I felt in high school or whatnot. The bullying was the bullying kind of made me confused because it was just like, what did I do to you? And it's like, it's funny because it's like every time I would see that Hispanic girl, she'll give me a look. She'll be like, why are y'all looking at me like that? Like, what did I do to y'all? Like, I don't have nothing to do with the beef. I don't have, and it was crazy because it's like the Hispanic, and it wasn't just me that they were bullying. Like, I heard some of my other friends say that they were bullying them too. And it was crazy because like, beef between the two gangs got so bad to the point where they started terrorizing the whole entire school, and it was just weird. Like it was just weird to watch. Like they literally just started just terrorizing the whole entire school, bro. Funny thing is though, the black boys were never bullying the Hispanic girls. That's the funny thing about it. Like the black boys left the Hispanic girls alone. Black boys knew that it had nothing to do with, like, the black boys knew, but like the Hispanic boys were trying so hard to bully us. So one day me and my mom, we went to Subway. Like I went to Subway with my mom. Went to Subway, we were hungry, and I was like, can we please stop somewhere to eat? And she was like, yeah, we can get some Subway. So we stopped. Tell me why we get out the car and I see Brian and his group of friends from PE that bullied me in the parking lot. Like, they was just posted up. They was on top of a car. Like, Brian was on a car, and he was like, and mind you, y'all, these wars were like bad. I'm talking about them Hispanic girls used to tie their pants up. Like, y'all know, if y'all know what I'm talking about, like them cholos and them cholas, they used to tie their pants up. As I, like, you know, as time progressed and stuff like that, I was like, oh, okay, like, those are cholos. Like, I guess, like, they used to tie their shit up. So Brian, he posted up on the thing. I already know, like, y'all already know the Hispanic starter pack back then from the hood. They got their pants tied up at the end with their Cortezes. Y'all already know, in the big ass shirts. Like, y'all already know it's popping. And he had his bandana hanging out. So when I seen them, I instantly got upset and I started talking shit, y'all. Like I told y'all, I was never a punk, like, never. So I was like, those are the guys, those are the guys. And I was going off. I was like, talk your shit now, talk your shit now. Like, I'm going off, right? So Brian and the whole group, they kind of looked and they was like, they looked confused because, mind you, it's nighttime. So they was like, and then they seen who I was and they was like, and they all just start giggling. Oh, mind you, my mom, she's standing near me and my mom's like, what's going on? Like, she looked so confused and I was like, those are the guys that bully me. Those are the guys that bully me. I was like, talk your shit now. Talk your shit now. Like, I'm in Brian's face like, y'all, I am angry. Because the thing is, whenever I used to confront Brian and at school, the teachers always used to stop me and be like, I'll kick you out, I'll write y'all up, da, da, da. It was always threats. So I could never really talk to Brian how I really wanted to talk to Brian. So it's like, I see you outside the school, baby, we got a problem, what's up? I'm in his face and I'm like, talk your shit now, say something now. I was like, throw something now, throw something now. Mind you, my mom, she's I'm going like this. I'm like, throw something now. Like, I'm in his face, I'm in his Kool-Aid, and I know the flavor. So it's crazy. And so my mom, she's like, let me tell you something. Like, my mom embarrassed the hell out of me, y'all. I don't even know if she remembers that story, but she started screaming at me. She was like, I don't care what is going on. She was like, you need to calm down, because she didn't really know what was going on. I never told my mom that I was getting bullied. Even in that moment, I didn't really explain to her what was going on. All she seen me do was just be very irate. And Brian was very calm. Like, he was laying back on the hood. Mind you, I'm in his face. I'm like, talk your shit now. I'm banging my hand and everything. He like this. He like, look at her. Telling his friend, look at me. Bitch, look at you. You the bully, not me. So I'm like, so my mom, she's pulling me. And I went like that. She was like, look, stop. Like, she was like, what's going on? Like, she was screaming. So the boys, they end up leaving or whatnot. They end up getting in the car, or they got in the car with someone. They left, they walked off, and you could just tell that they're laughing because my mom is screaming at me. And it was so embarrassing, y'all, because it's like, I don't know, like, I understand that I didn't explain the story to my mom, but in that moment, I just wanted my mom to have my back. Like, I just wanted my mom to be a rider. I just wanted my mom to be like, yeah, what happened? Like, what happened type shit. But like, I, looking back at it, could kind of understand, like, yeah, I get where she coming from. It's nighttime. It's a group of Hispanic boys that look like thugs. Like, she was basically just talking about, you don't know what these boys could do to you. These boys could stab us. These boys could shoot us because of this shit that you like. These are thugs type shit. Like, you're coming, you're screaming. She was like, you're not telling me what's going on. She was angry, so she starts screaming at me. They're walking off, they're laughing. Brian is laughing, he's pointing at me. I'm gonna introduce this boy, and it's funny because, like, his nickname was Hot Sauce, so we're just gonna keep that name. So there was this black boy named Hot Sauce. I was cool with him, but I wasn't like friends with him. I was just on some, like, I would see Hot Sauce in the hallways, I would wave at him, he'll wave back. Now let me give you guys a description of Hot Sauce. Hot Sauce was this no, he wasn't Hispanic. Hot Sauce was this black boy that was extremely, like, when I say extremely, I mean extremely ghetto. Like, when I say extremely ghetto, I'm talking about extremely. And Hot Sauce was in the black gang. Like, he was in the black gang or whatnot. And he was in 8th grade. He wasn't in 7th grade. I don't even know how me and Hot Sauce became cool, but me and Hot Sauce became cool, and it wasn't cool like on some, like, we talked, but me and Hot Sauce just became cool. Like, he knew my name, I knew his nickname. Whenever he would see me, he'll chop it up with me in the hallways and he'll keep it pushing. But the thing with Hot Sauce is he did used to skip school a lot. Hot Sauce wasn't even the type of person that was always at school. Like, he really wasn't even that type of person, but at the same time, whenever Hot Sauce was at school, he always spoke. Whenever I would see Hot Sauce, he would speak. Sometimes I'll be walking, you know, down the streets, because my dad, he didn't really like to drop me off all the way to the school, because it used to be a long line, so my dad would drop me off in these apartments that was like directly across from the school to avoid standing in that long line, and I'll just walk across the street. And I don't know if Hot Sauce lived in those apartments, but he always was in them apartments. And so he will always talk to me. He'll be like, hey, Irene. And I'll be like, you going to school today? And he'll be like, fuck no. And I'll just start laughing because I'll be like, this boy is a fool. Like, you know, so I'll be like, all right, be safe. And he'll be like, yeah, he'll just be running the streets all day. I ain't gonna lie. The day that Hot Sauce used to come to school, I knew, baby. I knew, we knew, the whole school knew, because he used to cause ruckus. And sure enough, the whole school found out that Hot Sauce was basically the starter of everything. Hot Sauce was the starter of the riots that I told y'all used to, like, when I tell you used to be bad riots, like everybody will be fighting. He used to be the start of the riots. He used to be the start of everyone fighting. He was the one who started everything. He was like, he was crazy type shit. Like, that boy was crazy. It was another riot. But this one was different. Like, this one was way different than all the other riots that I've ever seen at this school. Of course, black people on one side, Hispanic people on one side, they talking shit. That's how it always started off. It will always start off with them, like, talking shit, like, going like that, talking shit. Next thing you know, boom, somebody fighting. So they all fighting and shit. Like, it's crazy. They get it active, right? So they fighting and stuff like that. People moving to the side. You know, it's crazy. Like, it used to get cracking. Like, them riots used to get cracking and shit. All I hear is a loud scream, and I'm talking about the type of scream that like somebody screaming Bloody Mary type shit. Like, it was a loud scream. So at this point in time, police come upstairs, because mind you, the police office was downstairs, and that's the reason why the riots used to always be successful, because the riots will always be upstairs and the police will be downstairs. So by the time they get upstairs and shit, they breaking it up, but it's already too late. A lot of people that already fought this shit, throwing book bags. Like, it's crazy. Like, people fighting, and then some girls will start fighting too. Like, it was crazy. Like, everyone felt the need to fight in that time period. I don't know why. Tell me why the police come up and they break it up and everything. They tackling people, they're handcuffing people, and I literally just in the middle, and they're yelling, they're screaming. Teachers are screaming at us, go to class, like screaming at the bystanders, because, you know, just be people watching. I see everything dispersed, everybody dispersed. There's a pool of blood, like a big pool of blood on the floor, and I'm just looking like, who got hit? Like, why is there blood all over the floor? I look, there's a pool of blood on the floor. I see the crowd, they dispersing more, The Hispanic boy on the floor. Boy, I tell you, them black boys ripped that boy's stomach open with a knife. They stabbed him. They stabbed him up, y'all. I was just looking in shock, and I was like, everything makes sense, because remember I told you guys, he was screaming so loud, like Bloody Mary. I get closer looking at the boy. Mind you, the police officer told us, go to class, yelling at me. I said, I am not going to class, bitch. This is Law and Order. Bitch, this is First 48. I need to figure out who did it. So I'm looking like, tell me why it's one of Brian's friends. Snooze, you lose. You snooze, you lose. Nah, let me chill. That's not funny. But, bro, and mind you, I don't feel like that no more. Like, if it was me today, I would have had sympathy. Like, you know, I've changed. Like, of course, my mind from 7th grade is completely different from now. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I am going to be 100% transparent with you guys on this channel. I didn't feel bad for him, because when Brian used to bully me, his ass used to be sitting up there laughing. He thought he was at a comedy show and shit. Now look at you. Look at you on that floor bleeding out. Y'all, they started rushing ambulance to come upstairs. I don't know what happened to that Hispanic boy. Don't know what happened, because it was towards the ending of the school year. Like, school was coming to a close at that time. Never seen that boy in PE again. Don't know if he died. Don't know what happened to that boy. Like, not on no funny shit. But at this point, y'all, it's crazy. Like, I'm looking like, what? Y'all, so I ended up going to class. We had to go to class because they were yelling, talking about whoever doesn't go to class is gonna get arrested. We're just gonna automatically assume that you fought this and that. So I was like, let me go to class, because I didn't fight nobody. Okay, so I'm walking to class. We go to class. It's crazy. Everybody talking. The teacher trying to get us to stop talking about it. Everybody looking at the teacher like, why would we stop talking about this? Like, this boy just got stabbed up. The black people in the class is like, that's what he get. get. Like, y'all, none of the black people felt remorse. Hispanic people in the class was me mugging us, but they were not people that were a part of the gang in this class period. They were just like regular Hispanic folks that were quiet, so they couldn't really say what they wanted to really say. And then on top of that, this class period that I had to go to right after that boy got stabbed was predominantly a black class period. So we talking our shit, we saying that's what he get. I definitely felt like that's what he get, because like I said before, whenever Brian would bully me, this fool would be sitting in the corner laughing, or he'll be egging Brian on. So I just personally felt like you wanted to be a gang, and look what happened. As the periods go on, they ended up shutting down the school. So they basically got on the intercom and they were like, y'all, we're not doing hallway transition, this and that, like, we're not doing hallway transition. So basically what they started doing was started telling us on the intercom, if you are going to PE, go now. Like, they dead ass started doing that. So basically the hallways were empty. Like, I remember they would say, if you're going to a chemistry class, go now. And then basically you could not talk in the hallways. If you talked in the hallways, automatically wrote you up and suspended you. Yeah, you couldn't talk in the hallways. You literally just had to walk to the class. And now at this point in time, the hallways were completely empty, because not a lot of people would be going to a chemistry class or a science class. It would just be everyone that's going to a science class, right? So they started doing that. As time went on, I'm gonna say a day or two, I started hearing rumors that allegedly Hot Sauce was the one who stabbed the Hispanic boy. So I'm like, y'all, I am shocked. I'm like, of all people, why I gotta be you, Hot Sauce? Why? But why I gotta be you? Why do you have to be the disruptive one? Why? So I'm hearing rumors, people, all I keep hearing is Hot Sauce. That boy goes. That boy is not in school. A day go by, he ain't in school. Like I said before, y'all, that boy used to skip school all the time. So I was not surprised by it. Like, I wasn't like shocked that he wasn't in school. But like, I'm gonna be real. A week went by, Hot Sauce wasn't in school. 2 weeks went by, Hot Sauce wasn't in school. I'm looking like, what the hell? Now, mind you, at this point in time, y'all, they completely shut down the school. What they started making us doing is we had to go through metal detectors to get into the school. We have to take off our shoes to get into the school. It was a lot. Like, because of that one incident, that school turned into like the military. Like, they started going through our bags. I remember this black boy had a lighter, and they were trying to like arrest him, basically saying, what else is he using the lighter for? He's using the lighter for weed. And the black boy was like, give me my fucking lighter. Like, it was bad, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing. I was like, bitch, I was laughing. Bitch, I thought it was funny, because that black boy was angry. He was like, get my fucking lighter. Like, it was crazy, y'all. Like, it was bad crazy, right? But at this point in time, the rumors have died down, but I still kind of feel like, yeah, what's his face? Hot Sauce definitely, allegedly hit that boy up, because I'm hearing stories, people putting stories together and stuff like that. I get to PE, Brian ain't bullying me no more. Yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. If this is what it had to came down to for y'all to leave me alone, so be it, y'all. They not looking in my direction no more. They're not talking shit to me. They're not throwing nothing at me. The Hispanic girl not me mugging me anymore. Yeah, So I started feeling like the boss, bitch. I was like, yeah, like, I'm not in the gang, but yeah, black people, we mean business. I'm sorry, like, we mean business. And so, yeah. So one day, my dad ends up dropping me off at the apartments, and he drives off, and I'm walking through the apartments, and I see Hot Sauce. And so when I seen Hot Sauce, I was like, hey, Hot Sauce. Like, I said hey to him. He was like, hey girl, what's up? And I was like, what's up with you? Like, I'm looking at him like, you asking me what's up, baby. I'm not the one who stabbed somebody the other day, like you are. So we need to know, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm like, no, baby, what's up with you? And he was like, ain't nothing. He started snickering and shit. I'm like, this boy is bad. Like, this boy really did stab someone. Because when I said what's up with you, I kind of said it in like a, you know, when you talking to somebody, you be like, what's up with you? Like, you know, you already, like, the other person should already know why you looking at them. He was like, ain't nothing up with me. Like, he started laughing and shit. I'm like, this boy really stabbed somebody. At this point in time, Hot Sauce, he fidgeting and stuff. Like, you could tell, like, he had somewhere to be. So I was just like, did you? I had to ask him. I said, did you hit that kid? A dead ass, like, did you? I asked him, yeah, did you do it? This boy started grinning. And this is his exact words. Why you think I ain't been in school? I was like, And I told him, I said, well, you ain't been in school. Like, you don't go to school regardless. Like, you barely go to school. He was like, you right. He was like, but have you ever seen me miss 2 weeks of school, Irene? I was like, you right. And then he basically told me that he didn't really like say much because like he said that he had to go. You could tell he was in a rush to go somewhere. But he basically told me he been on a run. The police been looking for him. He hasn't even been home since the incident happened because I'm guessing the police went to his house or something. I don't know. It was a lot. But he basically been on the run or whatnot because like I told you, everybody at the school was saying his name. So I'm pretty sure that somebody went to go snitch and tell the police that it was him who did it. And he said that he can't come back to school. And y'all, I never see, he told me that he would never come back to that school again. And y'all, I never, like, and mind you, I talked to him and I was like, be safe, hot sauce, like just be safe. And he was like, yeah, I am. And he was like, well, I gotta go, Irene, like I gotta go. Like you could tell, and mind you, he's on a bicycle, y'all, like he's not walking, like he's on a bicycle. And so he's like, he starts like putting both of his feet on it and getting ready to like roll off. And he's like, I gotta go. And I was like, all right, hot sauce, be safe. And y'all, I ain't never seen that boy again. He ain't never came back to the school again. I mean, he would be a fool too. They looking for him, you know what I mean? Like, he would be a damn fool too. But I ain't never seen that boy again. I ain't never seen the Hispanic boy again. Brian, stop bullying me. His friends, stop bullying me. Ending of the school year was very, very nice for me. That's the ending of the story time, y'all. I hope you guys like this story time. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Y'all comment down below and y'all let me know if you guys have ever had anything similar to like this happen at your school. Love you guys so much. Be on the lookout for another story time. I think I should have one more story time coming this week. If not, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure I should. And I love you guys so much. I will see you ladies and gentlemen in the next one. Bye, y'all.